Hi, I'm Cheryl Richardson, and together with Reid Tracy, the president of Hay House Publishing, we lead a workshop called Speak, Write, Promote, Become a Mover and Shaker. For years, people have contacted both Reid and I to talk about how to get their book published, how to build a speaking career, and then how to build an audience for their work. So we dedicate a weekend to helping people learn how to do just that. We help them to learn to speak about their business in an effective way. We teach them how to deliver a smart public speech that ends up really inspiring people to want to know more. And we take them through a whole strategy of using social media, your website, public speaking and publishing, along with affiliate programs, to be able to build both an online and offline presence that has an audience just waiting for your next piece of work. So we've been teaching Speak, Write, and Promote now for 3 years.
Yeah, for 3 years. And one thing that I want to point out right at the beginning is that one of the people that come to Speak, Write, and Promote get a publishing agreement with Hay House.
Yes.
Too. So and we've now published like 10 of those books.
Yeah, I was going to ask you
and
how
so,
many.
You know, some have been more successful than others, but it's been fun, and the authors have learned a lot, and
yeah,
we're
because
getting them out
essentially
there.
we're teaching people how to build an audience, and people, as part of being enrolling in Speak, Write, and Promote, are able to submit a book proposal.
Right.
And as a result, somebody wins a
publishing contract with Hay House or a radio show with Hay House. So we've had like 10 radio shows and 10 publishing contracts. Just recently we had our I Can Do It Ignite event in New York. We had a couple authors from Speak, Write, and Promote speak there.
Yes.
You know, so they got to speak on a stage with 1,500 people, and they got to speak with Wayne Dyer, and they got to speak with all these other famous people. You've had one speak with you on the same stage. So there's many benefits, I think, to the Speak, Write, and Promote program. I mean, I think our very first Speak, Write, and Promote, one of our authors got a 6-figure publishing deal with a big six, like HarperCollins or Random House or one of those publishers. So it's fun to work with.
Yeah, and you know, I know for us, one of the most fun parts of the Speak, Write, and Promote program is when we do the public speaking, where I actually will do an example of a 5-minute speech that is moving and inspiring, and I understand you will be doing one next time.
I'm going to practice at the next one in New York. If you want to come and see me give my first 5-minute speech, then that could be worth the price of admission.
Yeah, that's true.
It might be the only one ever.
No. It's just the start of something big, I have no doubt. That part's really fun for us because we teach people a simple 3-step program for delivering an inspiring and effective speech. And then we give volunteers in the audience a chance to do it.
Right.
And I'm remembering, do you remember when we were in Boston and we had Michael Chase, who ended up publishing with Hay House. He, the kindness man, I think of him. Michael had come to Boston, and we chose him as a volunteer to come up and give a 5-minute speech based on what we had taught, the strategy we taught. And I'll never forget, he came, you know, we never know. I mean, we invite people up as volunteers, and if they suck, we learn so much.
Right.
And if they're great, we learn so much. I mean, you know, we all suck at some point.
And you never know when they walk up there.
That's right. You never know. I mean, we create a very safe environment, and where people get to just practice. And I remember Michael came up, and both of us sort of looked at each other like, okay, let's see what happens. And he just kicked butt.
Right.
He delivered this speech, and I'll never forget, when he finished his speech, the men in the room leapt to their feet first, which is rare.
Really rare.
And then he got a standing ovation, and people were just so moved and inspired. And now he's on the stage speaking at I Can Do It.
Yeah, he's speaking at like 6 this year.
Yeah, and he's so good at what he does. And and you know, we'll get people who will come up. I remember when we were teaching this in London, and we got this really. She was so brave. Do you remember? She was really timid and
shy.
From Ireland. But, from Ireland. She raised her hand to come up to practice giving the speech. And like I said, even if somebody doesn't do good at all, they feel wonderful afterwards because we create a very safe environment and we learn so much. They learn so much.
Yeah.
The whole audience does. This woman came up to deliver a speech, and she was so, I mean, she was like barely breathing. She was so nervous, but brave. And she started speaking, and within 30 seconds, the whole room was completely enraptured by what this woman was saying.
Yeah.
All of us, remember
Yeah.
that? And she got off stage feeling like $1,000,000.
Yeah, and it's also good at the event how we help them to learn how to make money from speaking too. Like, it's great. We not only help them teach them how to give a good speech, but how to go out and market yourself, how to find things,
That's right.
how to find other opportunities to speak.
Yes.
And I think those are some of the key things, because there's multiple parts of income as you're an author, as
Yeah.
you know, and a lot of that income comes from speaking,
Right.
counseling, or coaching, different things like that.
Yeah, delivering your work. I think one of the most, another really valuable part of Speak, Write, and Promote is when people see how their introduction of their business impacts an audience.
Yeah,
We've had people who are fairly successful at what they're doing stand up in front of the room and deliver an introduction about who they are and what they do,
yeah,
and suddenly discover that 90% of the people in that room have no idea what they're talking about.
In fact, I would say 90% of the people that we have introduce themselves and what they do in 1 minute or less.
Yep.
No one has any idea what
Right.
they do.
And I remember one time we were teaching on a cruise, and this very successful consultant, corporate
Yeah.
consultant, and he kept getting stuck. He couldn't he couldn't get the audience that he wanted, and he stood up and he introduced himself, looked great,
Yeah,
really professional, introduced himself, and I said to the audience, how many of you know what this man does? And no one raised their hand.
yeah,
And this poor guy, like so many people, kept thinking it was about,
What-
it was about the actual work, or it was about the economy was bad or whatever, when the reality was nobody had ever taught him how to speak about what he did in an effective way.
right.
So we spend a lot of time helping people to really learn, to get feedback. That's worth the price of admission
for
right there.
sure. Every single person learns so much about speaking about themselves. And being at Hay House, so many people come to me and try to present their books, try to present their information, and they don't have a long time, or any publisher.
Right.
And if in 1 or 2 minutes you can't get across what you're doing, the people are done.
Yeah, they
you know?
just- you
don't have
tune
any-
out, right?
Yeah. Well, because you're just like, okay, I have too many other people that might know what they're doing,
Right.
or presented it better in writing or other
Right.
things. And that's the other thing we talk about is the book proposal. Like
Yes.
we mentioned, someone getting a 6-figure advance from using our book proposal model. So we
Yes.
know that works as well.
Yep.
And we help people with their social media. We help. I mean, there's
Yeah,
just so many things.
Yeah,
that-
the other thing we do is we really look at, what an effective website looks like. What are some of the best ways? We remember we've done like great brainstorming sessions with people about how to use Facebook, how to use Twitter, how to use Instagram, how to use Pinterest. Like, what are some of the creative and effective ways that you can use these social media strategies for you and your business, because it's unique to everyone, right? We all have to find our own way to do it. So the important thing is, I think most people will come to Speak, Write, and Promote thinking that they want to publish a book,
Right.
or they want to, they want to deliver a speech. And the reality is, you've got to build an audience first.
Right.
And Speak, Write, and Promote is all about the strategies you have to learn in order to build an audience for your work. If you have 100 people and you want 200, there's a certain set of
Right.
strategies. If you have 500 people and you want 5,000, there's a strategy, there's a process, a plan that you have to create. And we sort of go through each of the rooms of that house so that you can build a strong foundation underneath your business that will carry you and your audience for years to come.
Exactly.
So if you are ready to build an audience for your work, or if you're ready to expand your audience, Speak, Write, and Promote might be for you. You might be considering self-publishing, or maybe you've already self-published and you're thinking about getting published by a traditional publisher. We talk about all of that during Speak, Write, and Promote. If you're ready to build a social media strategy, to learn how to give an effective speech, or to take your speaking to a whole other level, to understand how affiliate programs work, all of the different strategies you need to build an audience, Speak, Write, and Promote may be exactly what you need to do next. in order to take your speaking and your writing to a whole other level. So I hope you'll check out the website here on the video and join us at a Speak, Write, and Promote sometime soon.